Yebo Gogos, hope you are all right. We are busy with the story of Joseph, and we know that Jacob had 12 sons, and that 10 of them worked in the fields, and Joseph and Benjamin stayed at home because they were still too young. But when Joseph got a little bit older, Jacob would send him into the fields where the other boys were looking after the cattle and the sheep and the camels and whatever else they had. And but they hated Joseph because he told them their dreams, and in his dreams his brothers would serve him, and they hated that, so they decided to kill him. But eventually they sold him to a caravan of people who went to Egypt, and he got to Potiphar, where he worked. He got into jail because he allegedly did something to his wife, which was actually a setup of his wife. And he met with the two guys in jail, and he told them their dreams, about their dreams. And you remember the story. I'm now actually just carrying on. I don't want to spend too much time. But then eventually he told the Pharaoh, when he got out, what his dreams meant. And he was so impressed that he made Joseph the governor. And he had to build silos and storage for the grain, so that when the famine time comes, that they will have enough food. So, and then he made Joseph the governor to look after that side of their business. So in chapter 11, we cover the period when Jacob's family moved to Egypt. And they grew into a very large nation. And we'll also look at the deaths of Jacob and Joseph later on. But now we will read about the famine in Canaan and how Jacob and his family struggled, and he sent his sons to Egypt to buy grain. Unbeknownst to them, Joseph, their brother, was the governor in Egypt. And although Joseph recognized them immediately, they did not recognize him, because, remember, they looked the same as they always looked. Same old clothes, same stuff. But Joseph was this prince with beautiful clothes and hair that was combed or whatever. I don't know how they did that. So he looked totally different. So in this whole process, Joseph accused them of being spies. And of course, the brothers defended themselves, mentioning their father Jacob and their youngest brother Benjamin. Joseph imprisoned them, and after 3 days he released them, insisting that they return, they must come back, with their youngest brother. And he kept Simeon as hostage. So they went home, and their father was so shocked. And also, the other thing that I forgot is they found money in their pouches, their bags. And they paid for the grain. And then when they returned with the grain, full of grain, the sacks, there was the money. But anyway, so eventually the family ran out of food again, and they were forced to go and buy grain again. But this time Benjamin had to go back with him. So Jacob allowed it, but was not happy. So when they arrived, Joseph received them warmly, giving Benjamin a portion of food 5 times larger as the rest. He gave them all food, but Benjamin got the whole big couple of plates of food. And later Joseph ordered his silver cup. He had the silver cup from which he drank, his personal cup, and he ordered that they secretly placed this cup in Benjamin's sack. So when they left, they were, let's say the police went after them, and they found this in Benjamin's sack. Of course, everybody was so shocked, and they said if they don't come home with Benjamin, their father would die. Well, Joseph was deeply moved and asked the Egyptians to leave, and then revealed his identity to his brothers. He wept, of course, loudly, and everybody was crying. But he said to them, listen, don't be concerned. They must not be afraid. They must not blame themselves for selling him into slavery. And then he explained that while they had intended evil, they wanted him dead in the first place, and then they sold him, God used their actions for good, ensuring the survival of a great people of the tribe of Israel. The brothers returned to Canaan and convinced Jacob to move to Egypt, because Joseph said he will give them land. Pharaoh, by invitation, allowed Jacob and his entire family to settle in a very fertile land called Goshen, or Goshen, I don't know. This region provided isolation, allowing God's people to grow into a large nation without intermingling with the Egyptians. Remember, that's why that's God's plan, to get them out of Canaan, to prevent this kind of thing. Jacob lived in Egypt for 17 years. Before his death, he called Joseph and his sons Manasseh and Ephraim, and Jacob intentionally crossed his hands to give the primary blessing to Ephraim, stating that the younger would be the greater, or greater than the older. The 12 tribes of Israel would ultimately be named after Jacob's sons, including Joseph's two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh. Jacob then called all his sons together to prophesy over their futures. Judah, he gave a significant prophecy. He said, rulers and kings would descend from him, and the scepter would not leave Judah until Shiloh, the promised Messiah, arrived. So Judah was the first in line of this whole line of ancestors where Jesus would be born. Jacob, when he passed away, he instructed them about where he wants to be buried. His body was taken to Canaan. That's where he wanted to be buried. In the cave of Machpelah. Remember? Following his death, the brothers worried that Joseph might now punish them, but he told them not to worry, repeating that he was not in the place of God. He reiterated that God had turned their evil intentions into good to keep that great nation alive. So he promised his brothers that God would lead the people back to Canaan one day, and he asked his own bones also to be carried back to be buried in Canaan when the nation eventually left for Egypt, or left Egypt to go back to Canaan. So that's the story in a nutshell of Joseph and his brothers. And so everything worked out well. What started as evil, God used so that the Israelites could survive. And this is exactly how the story went. They found food from Joseph, their brother. And it worked out well further on because he was not angry, because he believed that God had a plan and that they were just the instruments in God's plan. And all worked out well, and he was reunited with his father, and they stayed in Egypt in Goshen, and they became a big nation there with a very rich nation with all their cattle and stuff. And the lovely thing is that Jacob wanted to be buried in Canaan. And they took him back there and buried him with his forefathers. Okay. So that's it for today. Story of Joseph. Next week or tomorrow we'll go further and see where we end up then. Take care. Remember, Opa and Oma love you. Remember what I said about loving each other, that we pray for each other, because you don't know what is in my heart and which problems I have. I don't know what is in your heart and what problems you have. But at the same time, I know that we all have challenges, and it is not the end, but the beginning. So whatever we face is not the end, it's the beginning of something that God is planning for us. Keep that in mind. Take care. Love you too. See you tomorrow. God willing. Ciao, ciao.